kachiwan tu saya keti kunalchish hachi adi tlakwasa shtoka khatiti ide shtoka khatiti kachiwan ade khat kahi we laptopi tlatlayakhu please forgive me, my laptop last week wasn't working. Wednesday and Thursday, when I tried to log on to class, it kept telling me waiting for host to start meeting, and I don't know why. I tried everything I could to. Sorry, my dog. Tried everything I could for it to get working. I tried restarting it, and nothing was working last week. So please forgive me. This morning, last week before we left, we were talking about different ways our clan leaders would name their successors, how they named them. And there's one I'd like to share here in a bit, and how our people accepted it. This was our law. This is how our people do things. And they always made it public and for everyone to hear and to see. So everything was always done publicly. So here is the one that I found, and you'll have to forgive me. Okay, here it goes.
Right now, we had something different. I like to call on them my brothers. Bring what you got with you. This year, the reason why we're going to talk about, Ronald, bring everything down. And John, bring that stuff. And the reason why we brought it over, we see my brother Paul Marks, Paul Jackson, they're working hard. They're really working with Sea Alaska. So what you see, what they got on, this one here, shot the Khan KT, Willie Marks, Jimmy Marks, they don't want to fix it. Because the one I mentioned, the name, they're in this year. And the other one, Khan, Takhani, Shah, Willie Marks, Jimmy Marks, they fix it. So they want sons could use it. This is all my brothers. Sit down in here. Paul and Paul Jackson, both of you. I think it's the way we are. We try to face the face to shine it. With this year, anything what they do wrong, this year will cover it. Both of them. John Marks, Paul Marks, and Paul Jackson. So this is why we brought this out. To see, because how much work they've been doing. All of us here. This Paul Marks, he really worked. And I got one working with him, David Katzek. American. David Katzek. In Lingit, we should say, as do you do, go hagor sati, ye that the heart on to skate, a kika said as nach, after Chan, David Katzek. I will eat that, I eat the go hagor sati. What's your way? I tell you, Hossa. Ja, das da hast da kat hakikas. Ja, khisakuda ya. Yida jak tak dawat. Ja.
I'll explain a little bit what he was saying. He said that uh, my younger brothers that are standing here, they are going to be the ones that are going to become the face of our clan, is what he was saying in Tlingit. That was basically what he was saying, and that if there any mistakes are made, that the At'u that was brought out, the Daktintan At'u, is going to be the one um, that's going to be there to help fix things, the grandparents' clan. So that's why he brought them out and why he named them. Because our grandfather Willie, my dad, that was standing there, was the one. Him and Jimmy Marks were the one that carved those for the Duckdainton, the Mount Fairweather woman in the Mount Fairweather hat and the wild dog hat. And these are big items that were brought out. So anything that's done big, that's our people brought out the At'u for the grandparents and everybody to witness. And so they continue on to dance. And so I'll go ahead and fast forward it, but
At this time, I would thank my father's people, Sakakadi, for the way they are performing for us tonight, and they are doing it originally. And I just would like to say a few words on behalf of our ancestors who have gone by. And this is in their memorial. My uncle Joe White from Huna, and also our late Tom Jimmy, whose grandson is here among them, Tom Jimmy. I believe from way back they are listening and they are appreciating what they're seeing. Goodness, geez. I want to thank our grandparent clan from Una, Richard Shakley, and all the Seagull women for having brought over the hat for our brothers to wear.
Yag Hatu Amy. كان حتشتينين تشوز حتتيني هناك يا هواي جتكوز حانت يا خدوخي شاديخ الكفيهم يا يدت أختوس يقويا عدد خاتينية أخيك أتخسان إياك تاكسوا أتشو كندية يا هستو شيش كويس تكاكا سدي أده أتا تسلاقية كواسختو أو شيك أي خانة ويا خشو في خاتين كودية أديا يدد تيخ تاكسوا نق أجوخ تواسيكو خشياقو يا جاب راب هو جيا جندك وشي يا هيدي ينخو زتي قيادتك أو شدا ويخو قافيك أختوك وانيك أختوك تنجف وستية شاك هو كان ونشتيش عديو خيا تنجية دا أختوك أشيك عديك أخا أختية وش أختوك خيا أكيك وستيك أختيكو زيادة كان يخو فيك يا عديك وكيف يخو مكان
Classes go has nothing time. Hatsa twice you gonna cheese ye die yaka. Gonna cheese Joya Joe White Kuna gas Jab Khan Uku Diak Nakati Kwan Akli Kunka Kuakan Kaya Kakan Kuwu Joya Yada Koskani Bukati Yaka You do the box like Gonna cheese ye die Haka Please to us has Sunday has Gonna cheese I just want to take this time to say thank you very much for the people from the Duckdane Khan house to come here, and what took place here just a few moments ago was something that would happen in tradition. And we, as the raven spoke to us, as the eagle plant and the tribe, he named my name and others within the auditorium here. And our response is to come back and express our appreciation for it. And we do really appreciate what has been done here tonight. And I said in short that this blanket here, the sun blanket, may it be like the sun shining upon you and warming your hearts, warming your spirits. And may it be as something that would encourage you and uplift you. And that I was standing here and our late leader Joseph White from the community of Plakwan from Gate Hit to Skandahu. So Kuanagas. And I just want to say thank you very much, Grandpa Chief. Augustiniak Pashat, Jetrak, Kutia, Gaikha, Yaitat, Augustiniak Pashat, Yai Katawa Kotetuunik, Akach Yaitat, Wakoasa, Senach Kotelis, Achtat Hashu Hek, Achtat Gate. Achtat Has, Yitran Hastench, Area, Hasatench. I Tina Haya, Yai, that Athat Haya, Yai, that Australia area, yet, the need to not for the streets here.
It seems like it's always our custom when we love a person.
So I'll try and translate some of what they were saying. He said that, or we'll start from the top. Anna Katzik translated herself for what she said, and she was the one that started it. I think she noticed that nobody was responding to what had happened with my grandpa Paul Jackson, Johnny Marks, David Katzik, and my father Paul Marks. And so Anna started it, and you heard her translate herself. And then Amy Marvin Kutin got up and she started to respond as well. And she said that my brother's children, how amazing it is to see what is going on this afternoon. And she said that the Eagle Hat is going to hold hands with them in agreement of what's going on. And then she invited Eva Davis, and the reason Eva was invited was because she was same house as my grandfather. So that was very important that the house from my grandfather's were represented and talked of the Brownberry house. And she relayed the same thing as well. She said that she expressed her feelings and that the Brown Bear Hat is going to hold hands with them and that they're agreeing with what's going on. And then David expressed himself as well. And then Gilbert Mills said the same thing, except he used a totem pole. One of their totem poles is standing there, and they are watching what is going on. And he says that their ancestors feel happy, but he also felt that he said that they have come out for, how did he word it? For any hurt that has come upon you, it has come out to comfort you. And he said that because he was feeling, he said, I'm just by myself now. He said, everybody from around me is gone now. Talking either about his clan or his house, I'm not sure. But that's what Gilbert Mills, the last person to talk, said. And so those are, remember when the last week we were able to have class. The other clans, we all talk differently in how we relay our stories. And so that's one way our people relayed their feelings. We always use our stories. So that's what's very important, I feel like, is to know your stories from your clan, know the history of it. And then that's how the clan leaders made their speeches, or those that were speaking, they used the stories, and that was very, very important. David said it as well, it's going to warm your heart. He said, our sun blanket is going to warm you to your very core, is how he was feeling that day. So that's what David had relayed on his speech. But we'll work on some sounds, and this one is kind of one that a lot of people, uh, generally have an easier time saying because it's the what I call the gargling X. It's when you gargle mouthwash or something, you're using that muscle right here. So when you gargle, that's how the best way I can explain. That's where you're saying this sound. And the first one, I can't. I tried for 2 days to try to get the Klingit keyboard onto my laptop, but for whatever reason, every time I downloaded it, it wouldn't work. I'd restart it, re-download it again if it didn't work. I didn't succeed. I tried everything. Maybe that's might have been why my computer was acting up for all that downloading. I'm not too sure, but a few days last week I kept trying before classes and it just wasn't working. But first one, chai, chai is the word for yellow cedar, and there's a high tone above that first A. Chai, chai, chai. You can practice it. Chai, chai. One way you might be able to say it, do you see that yellow cedar? Do you see it? Chai. And next one is written the exact same way, but no high tone. This is just monotone on this one. Chai, 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 which is a steam bath. Steam bath. Places where people would take a steam bath in. Chai. They kind of sound the same. It takes a lot of practice to really listen to how they're saying it. Seeing things also helps. When it's being said and spoken, it's a lot easier. Chat, 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 just salmon in general. Chat, chat. Can mean fish as well. Chat, chat. Chat, chua, tatke. I ate fish last night. Chat, chua, tatke. That'd be kind of a tongue twister. I don't say that 5 times fast. Chat, chua. This one is just no tone. High tone on that first A for chat. Next one is for the word root. Chat, chat, chat. No tone at all. And that means like the root, like spruce roots or roots from a tree, plant. Chat. So let's say you have a pet fish. Achadi. Achadi. You hear my voice kind of achadi. Achadi means it's my fish. Let's say you went spruce root digging and you went and got the roots You cut them off, and you could say ascha di. You hear the different inflection. Ascha di. So when we said chat on the fish, the tone was in the beginning. Ascha di. It's at the end now. Tree roots, the tree's roots. Ascha di. Ascha di. Okay, these next two, there's dialects on these ones. Ich. Or ich, which means oil or grease. Tsa eche, seal oil. Or if we're from Klakwan, sak eche, hooligan grease. Sak eche. Both mean the same thing, they're just pronounced different. Next one. Deich. 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 Or from up north, Yakutat area, you would say dich. 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 Trying to think of this next one. How I could use in a sentence. Ach uch. Ach uch. Ach, is mine. Uch. Uch. My tooth. So remember when I said when it's part of your body, it doesn't soften. But when kids start to lose their teeth and maybe wanted to talk about it, it's say your child, and you would know this by context, his or her tooth fell out of their mouth. That's what you would say. Because it's gone out of their mouth now. From their mouth. It fell out. Is how what comes to mind. Somebody might have a different way of saying it. Next one is Achtachchan. Achtachchan, my grandchild. So in Tlingit, Tachchan can mean different things, two different things. It can literally mean your grandchild, or like if your child has a kid, that becomes your grandchild. But it also means a clan grandchild. So like for myself, I'm grandchild of Chukanedi because my father's father was Chukanedi. So that's why I say Chukanedi Tashkhan Khatsati. I am grandchild of Chukanedi. And that's what that means. So grandchild, when they're talking about it, sometimes, especially in ceremony, they're not talking about their literal grandchild. They're talking about a clan grandchild whose father may have been a high caste person. So when they're talking about lineage, it's very important that the grandchildren of the past leaders are acknowledged because they're important people, because they would be they're the ones that do the work for you. Is how Catherine Mills talked about my auntie Nora. She said, "Ha dachkanaya achea ha jias yejikach dune." She said, "Our grandchild is going to do the work for us." Actually, she didn't use the word dachkan. She used the word guch. Ha guchoya guchsati. They're going to be, our grandchild is going to work for us. But guch, that's another one that has dual meanings. A long time ago, our people had slaves, but they weren't treated as such. They would and it also meant a special grandchild. Like I said, these uh, grandchildren of past leaders, they were very important, and they were the ones that would often be put in regalia. They were the ones that would wear the regalia for everyone, or not for everyone, but special at ooh. They were the ones that would wear it because they said it put more value on it when the grandchildren wore it, not the literal grandchildren, but the grandchildren of the clan. It increased the value of things. And so that's how it would work. Like when sometimes my dad, they would ask my dad or my aunties to put on the taktain tanatu, my dad's siblings, because they were grandchildren of taktain tan. So it was very important to know that it wasn't, nowadays it was very different from a long time ago how we do things. I remember as a kid, when the men started dancing, we weren't allowed to dance. Um, Even up until just until I was a teenager. I remember getting ready to dance, and my aunties pulled me back, and they'd pull me back. They'd say, "No, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt now." And, raised in that generation to listen to your aunties and uncles. I didn't dance with the men, and so that's the way it was for us growing up. It was very important that if you listen to Charlie Joseph when he was talking about um, from the recording is of because we cherish you. Um, Even then, he said, please forgive my grandchildren. He said, if they don't move right, they almost got the dance moves, they almost have it right, but forgive them, they haven't learned it well. And so that was important for our people to know the dance moves too. It wasn't just going out there and dancing, like our elders would say, don't do things any old way. Um, So that's what the way we grew up as kids with Mark's Trail. It was instilled in us very, very much so. And as I got older, I understood why, and I appreciate what my aunties and uncles did for all of us. It's very important. Um, any questions so far? Let's see. Okay. Here's one that is usually kind of hard because of that last ending. Achunch. Achunch. My older brother. This is for men. So if you have boys, this is, and they have an older brother or even an older cousin on the same side, same clan as them, this is what they would refer to them as achunch, my older brother. Young, because we're working on these underline X sounds, we'll keep it at that. Achunch. And for ladies, achshatch. If you have an older cousin, that's a sister. Or if you have an older cousin that's on the same side, that's your sister. The same goes for your older sisters. You know, we don't have a word for cousin. It's either your brother or your sister. Achshatch, my older sister. For women, this is how women would say it. Achshatch. Achshatch. So just for purposes of understanding, for men, when you say my sister, sisters in general, it doesn't matter if they're older or younger, is achtlag. Achtlag, my older sister. And then for girls, the younger sisters are keek, achkeek. And for boys, like I said, that it doesn't go. Younger brothers are called achkeek, achkeek, achkeek. And then girls, if you want to address your brother, brothers in general for your ladies, it doesn't matter if they're older or younger, is achik, achik, my brother for ladies. That's how a lady would say it. And again, it doesn't matter if they're younger or older. Achik, my brother. Is there any questions? I'll be traveling to Sitka Wednesday for a herring camp. I'm hoping that for lunch I'll be able to break away. I should be able to break away and have class. I just got to figure out where and Wi-Fi situations. But if not, I'll let everybody know, or I'll let Rob know to let everyone know. So if there's no questions, I got to get to another class. And these words that I gave you are good practice, you know, for if you're having trouble with these sounds, you know, just to keep practicing, and you say it. It's very important to, you know, to say these words correctly, because it could change the whole meaning if you don't. And sometimes it might be bad, and we don't want that. My grandma Adeline would always tell me, she says, "Oh, the Tlingit language gets you in trouble sometimes." All right, going to cheese to cut you on. Thank you, all of you. We'll see you hopefully Wednesday. Say team.